Good morning, good morning, good morning. Good morning again. Yes, welcome to my body cam power pat walk for this Friday, February 26th, 2021. Yes, it's about 9:40. Let's see what time it is. Have my watch. What time it is? Okay, 11 to 10. 11 minutes to 10 in the morning. And I'm out with the gang. Yes, they have their little coats on, and I have the new shopping cart, the black one. It really is a good investment. It's easy to steer. The shortcomings is when uh, the sidewalk is on a slant, it will veer off to where it's down sloping, So you have to really make sure your hands are on it at all times. Let's see what else. Yeah. And I lined it with I forget the name of the material, but it almost looks like cardboard, but made out of a plastic, synthetic. And I lined the sides and the back. And I just leave the front open, the front window open. So they can get air, they can poke their little head out. Yeah, my little boy likes doing that, poking his little head out. Yeah, the holes are a little smaller. The other one, the red one I had, yeah, they could poke their head out. My little boy, he's fascinated. He doesn't sit down. I mean, it's big. It's big, but he's excited. So he's standing up. He wants to gather all intel, Yeah. So it's it's about 39 degrees, but it actually feels damp. It has a dampness in the air. I am dressed in layers. I have on my shirt, long sleeve shirt, knit shirt, and then I have this thick sweater. Hardly wear it. And then I have my down jacket, hooded jacket, and then my leather coat. I could maybe use one more layer actually. I could. I do have a hat on. Yeah, I do have my hat on. Oh, I have my goggles, my pink goggles. Yes, I do. And the sun is out. So I'm just fascinated with sunlight. Sunlight when it hits the building. I just find it fascinating. It brings to me a feeling of peace. A lot of peace. I like that. I like that very much. I do. Morning. Okay. Yeah, I like this. Yeah, I haven't. I feel I need to walk my dogs. How you doing? Need to walk my dogs a little more. Yeah, they can get antsy too. My little girl Lily. Yeah, I love you, Lily. Yeah, you hear mommy talking about you. Yeah, I love you, Lily. Thank you for being with me. Yeah, so she could act out a little bit. They need more exercise. So so we're going out today. Yeah, when it's raining. Lavin, let's sit down. Let's sit down. Let's sit down. Sit down. Sit down. I know you want to say hello. Let's sit down. Quiet. Lavin, let's sit down. Well, another dog in front of us. Yeah. Yeah, my little boy in the pack, he's very social. And he got to talk to every single dog. But you know, he's real. My little boy, Lavender, Lavin for short, he is a good boy. He really is. He's a good watchdog. Any sound, boy. Well, people just throwing their doggy poo on the floor. That is something else. Wow. Wonder why they did that. Okay, just looking. Yeah, yeah, it's been a while since I walked up this street, it seems. And what was I just saying now? Okay, yeah, my little boy. He is what he is. It's him. You know, he has a right to be who he is. Yeah. Thank you, Lavender. And Lilac, baby Lilac. Lilac's in the middle. She doesn't like going out. She's always like that. Lilac's the one in the middle. You're wearing the pink. And she's the Shih Tzu. She had the back surgery. Yeah. Yeah, she's complex. She's actually the most complex of the crew. A sweet, sweet girl. But you know, she got some bite to her too. She knows how to control mommy. Yeah, she does. She does. Yeah, she had some close calls. You know, she almost choked. She had this GI upset, vomiting and diarrhea at the same time, and then blood coming out. Oh God, it scared me. Yeah, so she has a very, very delicate GI. She's even-tempered, very quiet. But you know, she, oh, it's cute. Morning. Hi. That's a Corky?
Yeah.
Sweetie, yeah, hi. Look at that. Line starts at 11th Avenue. The Javits Covids and the, you know, no way. You see that sign? Javits. Remember, oh yeah, the Javits is a couple of blocks going down that way. Yeah, I had visited there. Yeah, I had visited there when they were to open. When they first announced it over the media, I went down, and there were no people, no patients there. You just saw the military. I think the what do you call it? National Guard type people in there, and everything was like the real. You know, they weren't in any rush. There was nothing. There was no sense of urgency whatsoever. So I thought, okay, maybe they just still you know, setting up and everything. Baloney. There's no. See, they would have discussed that over the news that the hospital's there. No, there's no hospital there. Remember, there was supposed to be a hospital to house the, you know, to put the sick patients. Remember? So I feel how I feel. I feel we're being lied to. I feel the media is not genuine. They're creating a scenario that's opposite what reality is. Why hype it up at the Javits Center as a place to put the sick patients? Yet what are they really using that for? Okay, now they're saying they're going to do the COVID testing, but there's nothing they can do for you. Okay, you get tested, oh, you're either positive or negative or inconclusive, right? So what if you're positive? Oh, okay, you're positive. Hey, let's find out who you ever was around. Where did you go? See, like communist China. Yep. There's no medicine, so it's 1 year and nothing to give, no oral medication to give the people who, they might have mild symptoms, right? But you made it seem so dangerous, and then just find out there's nothing to give you. Nothing. So I even bothered to get tested. You're not feeling well, you have symptoms, you stay at home like before. Like before. See, they're hyping it up to make it seem worse than it really is. It's like someone saying, oh my God, there's snowflakes and it's February. Oh, what's going on? Well, that's winter. If you're in the northern hemisphere, right? You know what I'm saying? But they're saying something that's always existed. So let me tell you now what's happening politically. What's happening in New York City where I live. Yeah, this is New York City. I'm in the center of the city in Manhattan. And yeah, let me tell you. We have a governor, Governor Cuomo. And let me hurry up. Yeah, Governor Cuomo. Now, he last year in 2020, he was on the media often. Every day, he spoke about what's going on with COVID. Okay? But what happened? Well, let me tell you what's happening now. Now he did this for a couple of weeks, I believe. Yes, I used to watch every day. And then I kind of got distracted. But I was watching him the month of March and I think April. Yeah, definitely April. So that's when it really peaked in the media, when the general population was getting the COVID. And relatives that I know had it too. So you have all this stuff that was going on, and we had the election, and all these New Yorkers, in my opinion, stabbed Trump in the back. Yeah, he's a native son from New York City who ran for president in 2016 and won, and now in 2020, they didn't want to vote for him again. But you see with the Clintons, the husband, they voted for him in Arkansas, even though that's a red state. See, they vote for their native son. He's from that state, and they supported him. Hey, he may be a Democrat, but they voted for him because he's a native son. You know? People want to vote for their own, and I understand that. It's healthy. It's healthy. But if the person's a real problematic, then that's something else. But if it's just a regular dude or gal, oops. These are the cobblestone streets right here. This little path here. Sorry about that. I'm gonna go around this way. Yeah. So they didn't vote for him. They didn't support him at the voting thing. See, the New Yorkers don't know. They don't believe in supporting their own. Everybody wants to be somebody else. There's no real loyalty, So here, he's done a fabulous work You know, yes, he has a very charismatic personality, to say, to put it nicely, but he's a performer. He performs. He gets things done, and he done the black and Hispanic community very well financially. The economy was booming. We did the best, and I felt confident to do certain things, make certain purchases because I felt comfortable financially and socially. Oh, it couldn't have been any better, man. Couldn't have been any better. Yes, yes. You're my president at heart. In my heart, you'll always be my president. Okay? So, anyways, um, so he, okay, I'm sorry. So all this melee happened in 2020 in New York, all the riots and stuff like that. And even though, our president serves the black community and had a forum to address specifically black people. Not even Obama did that, that fucking coward. But anyway, I shouldn't talk like that. So, all this talk last year with the governor and the Kawuchiwachi virus, somehow, well, I never heard any criticism because all you guys and our governor and mayor talk badly about their native son, President Trump. So, but now the pendulum has turned. Yes, it did. The pendulum has shifted. Guess what's happening now? All of a sudden, they want to kvetch against Governor Cuomo. And they didn't, I saw one, what do you call it, news report, what do you call it, I forget what you call it. Either way, you had speakers, the public on camera saying what happened during COVID last year in 2020, and Governor Cuomo messed up and caused the death of a lot of these old people, the old folks home. Yeah. And then the next day after my hearing that report, guess what? A lady comes out and says that Governor Cuomo sexually harassed me and created a hostile working environment for me, this aggression, this bullying, blah, 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 blah. Now, it was an aide, someone who used to work for a couple of years back. So my question, I'll stay over here. My question is, why didn't they speak up when he was running for office? Now, he's been governor for a while. What happened? What happened? Oh, I'm getting my little doggies out there. This is what time it is. Okay, so about 8 after 10 a.m. Okay, just getting my little babies out. The stroller. Oops. Go ahead, someone have it. Okay. Yeah, so I figured, I can roll over here quickly with this shopping cart, get here, then they can walk about, and just move this over here. Come on, Lavin, let me just move you. Sorry. Okay, just to put that there. Yeah, so, sorry, I got distracted there. So what's happening now? Uh, so the woman came out and is alleging some serious accusations, like he had kissed her on the mouth without permission, and had said in some um, location, oh, let's play strip poker or something. That is nasty. Um, so those are very serious allegations. But my question is, people, don't you, I don't know. This is so typical of American politics, politricks. You have an allegation, and the allegations only come out when they want to get rid of somebody. They've been in office for all these times, but then when they want um, the um, the playing field to change, get new people, they come up with this stuff. Now, it could be true what happened, what the lady said. It could be 100% true, 200% true. But my question is, why now? Everybody was all for him with the cucarachi. All what was being done. No one said it. No one said anything. Because everybody was targeting Trump, our native son. Whether you like him or not, he's our native son, and New Yorkers don't seem to know how to support their own. We'll support people from other countries. We'll send money to other countries, but we don't want to support our own. And I have a problem with that. I have a problem with that. Yeah, so is it true? Why do they want to get rid of him? Oh, we don't like how he had it. Yeah, I don't like how in the very beginning with COVID, it was bizarre. They said, oh, if you're sick, stay at home. Okay, you're sick, stay at home. And that almost killed some people. This person followed that, when they did call 911 because they really felt like crap. And they arrived, oh, I'm sorry, we can't do anything for you, but if you get worse, it's already bad. You want them to cough up a lung or something? What is the problem? I see that I don't understand. And then they finally go again. They didn't take any x-rays, but they speculated, we think you have COVID. So they send her home. Well, he left. He came back the next day after that, because I think they bought some type of oxygen thing to check your oxygen levels, and it was getting low. They said, look, we're going to send you right back. So they drove the person back. They drove the person back, and they kept them. And they stayed there in the hospital for almost 2 weeks. And the person's having problem breathing. But guess what? They wait all that time. Now, why didn't they give him the person, the he or she, why didn't they give that person an x-ray to find out what's going on in the lungs? Wouldn't that be something important to find out? Someone's having problem breathing. Let's find out what's going on in the lungs. Any number of things could make it difficult for someone to breathe. Right? So they see that the person had blood clots in both of their lungs. Sure. And to not treat, I don't know. So for almost 2 weeks, and the person's condition is just getting worse. Sorry, my nose. Person's just getting worse, and you finally decide to take an X-ray of the person's lungs, the chest. Oh, you got a blood clot. You got blood clots in both of your lungs. Oh, I'm sorry, we can't do anything more for you, but we give you some oxygen to take home with you and something else. Oh, I think it's something like to exercise his lungs. Like you breathe into this thing and try to strengthen. Yes. We just got here, little peanut. Let's look at little peanut. Hope my camera's getting her. See that? See that? Yeah. Let's walk a little bit up, Lily. Okay, let's walk a little bit around. Yeah. So this is really bizarre. This is really bizarre, people. How, common sense seems to go out the window. That could have killed the person if they didn't discover sooner. I mean, they should have done it then. It's like all common sense went out the window. Do you think it's the first time someone ever had a cold? Because coronavirus, or Karachi, is the common cold. And sometimes your fluid builds up in your lungs. Sometimes you might have a bacterial infection. All number of things. And you notice they're not testing for pneumonia and influenza. And that's what people are really dying from in New York City or all over. They're not dying of the kukarachi-wachi. They are dying from not being treated for pneumonia. Again, you have a whole bunch of older people, and they're not being treated for that. I think it's negligent. I think as time goes on, there are going to be some major lawsuits. See, they want to just poo-poo on President Trump, because that's how that's how the yeah, that's how. Let me walk around a little bit. Yeah, that's how how the energy flow. We needed a scapegoat. See, it's all energy, and it was built up energy, and they unfortunately targeted President Trump to put all their negative energy towards, even though he was someone that was trying to help. Let me yeah, let me fix this. The leashes are all tangled. Let me untangle it. Yeah. So they focus all the aggression against Trump. They did all that. And so they didn't care what common sense was telling about with the COVID. Come on, Lala. Oh, the sun, huh? The sun's in your eye. Come on, let's just go up and let's just walk up the stairs. Come on. Come on, come. Come. I know. Lily. Look at that. She's got no lavender. Come on. Come on, Lilac. Lily, you go on that side. Okay. Yeah. So that's what's going on. They were focusing on just getting rid of President Trump. That was their mantra. But all common sense on this coronavirus, they believed anything that was being told to them, rather than using common sense. Someone's sick, but you don't check their lungs, why they can't breathe. Yeah, I think it was to try to create sicknesses. See, if they didn't call it coronavirus, that it was some pandemic, uh, doctors would have used common sense and tested people for various types of things, taking maybe blood tests, taking X-rays, the lung, find out what's going on, right? But trying to move the dogs, they get all tangled. Come on, Lilac. Come on, yes, you. Yeah, she is. My Shih Tzu is sensitive to the sun. She has hair in her, covering her face. She doesn't. Yeah, she doesn't want to walk. Lilac, you have to walk. You have to walk. Yeah, this is a beautiful day. I hope my camera, my body cam camera, is capturing the beauty of what it looks like. Yeah. So they want to now get rid of Cuomo. See, New York is all about politics. It's really tacky. It's really tacky. It's just becoming a classless place. It used to seem so sophisticated, but now it's just classless, trashy. It is. It's getting really trashy. Everybody's about politics. They're not about community. They don't care about. We don't care about each other anymore. We care about money. Money. It's like a hole. It's just, yeah, it's just who could do what for me and who looks cooler than the other. Come on. It's going down the drain. I'm born and raised. So come here, baby. Come on, come. You're going to walk. We're going to see the water. Yeah, I really feel badly because this is my home. I love New York City. I love it. It is the best place in the world, but it is corrupt. It's corrupt. It's lost its identity. It's just it doesn't love itself anymore. Look at the New Yorkers. You see how big people are? People health, they're obese. They're obese. They're more than just overweight, they're obese. And so our health is going down the drain. It's down the drain. And now with this new administration, they want to bring in people, masses of people, and then you're not going to check their health status. It's baloney. It's like setting up America to fail even faster. We're on a nosedive right now. If we can continue our behavior, if we can continue our behavior, it is ridiculous. At the time of this crisis, you're going to have people who are during the crisis of no jobs. The jobs and homes. People are getting because see now that those eviction notices should be going out now. Come on, baby. Those evictions. Remember, people weren't working. Yeah, people weren't working. And I showed you on the body cam the other day more businesses that are shutting down, that shut down, I should say. Come on, come. Yeah, it's awful. It's awful. I feel awful. This is my home. This is the best place in the world. I am so fortunate of the blessings that this place has. I can get food, the supermarkets. Um, we have post offices. We have, what else? Let me put this here. Yeah, we have post offices. We have tons of restaurants. We have parks. Look at this. This is at a pier. And in the summer, people go sit out there and sunbathe. You can watch the sunset right here. The sunset's over here. And I've showed you that in some of my videos. Like in 2017, I showed the sunset. It looked beautiful. It was beautiful. Yeah. Yeah. See, I want my doggies to get sunlight. Get sunlight in their eyes. Yeah, maybe I don't know the status of dogs if they can make their own vitamin D, but I think the sun is therapeutic. Not too much. Therapeutic. Look at little Lily. Yeah, yeah, Mama Bear. Yeah, I see you. I see you. Yeah, yes, Lily. She's my girl. Yeah, that little red spot on her forehead, that's Mommy's kisses. Yes, I kissed her forehead. Yeah. Yeah, this is my city. This is New York City. The best place in the whole world. And I think I do get scared. You hear that in my voice many times. I get scared. Um, I'm concerned about the black population in New York City. We're not united, but we're united when it's foolishness. We're united when people want to burn down buildings and call everybody the N word, things like that. But I want us to wake up. Blacks in America don't realize how good you have it. You go to the West Indies, you go to Central South America, baby, you're gonna see things you're gonna just go, what? We're rich in comparison to most people in the Americas and in Asia. They make you feel like a pauper. You don't realize how rich you are. I'll pick you up, Lilac. I'll pick you up. Come here. Come here. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, she's particular, little Lilac. Maybe it's getting warm for her because in the sun right now, it is warmer. My back is my back's against the sun, and it feels good. But these dogs, they like it. I think slightly cool. Yeah, because when I'm in bed with them, they like to be above the covers, and it's a slight coolness to the body. They seem to like that. Yeah, you bad girl. Yeah, yeah, Mama Bear. Yeah, yeah. Black America, you don't realize how good you have it. You go to any other place in the Americas, especially where the U.S. doesn't control, and it's horrible. I mean, Martinique, now my mother's family is from Martinique, and it's controlled by France. It's an overseas department of France, and a nice setup there. I visited there twice, 2 weeks each time, and a nice little setup. Nice. They're mostly agriculture. They do have tourism, but it's I think mostly agriculture. Yeah, they have plantations, boy. Yeah. Um, yeah, but you go outside of that, the U.S., like Puerto Rico, the U.S. Virgin Islands, they're supported by U.S. dollars, federal dollars. And yeah, I used to live in St. Thomas. It's one of the three U.S. Virgin Islands, And yeah, they have a nice little system there. People work hard there. Puerto Rico, I visited there twice. Uh, I saw there was a video that discussed Puerto Rico, and they showed this was probably in the 1950s. This was before. What was that? Okay, they already had the Spanish American War, so this was like 19. Okay. Uh, I think the film was done in the 1950s. Um, and they showed it was like a caricature of four babies. Okay, who were the four babies? The four babies were represented the Philippines, Puerto Rico, Cuba. Oh, did I say the Philippines? Oh, okay, Puerto Rico. Okay, Puerto Rico, Cuba, Philippines, and one other place. I don't remember the other place, but three of them were in the Caribbean. Three in the Caribbean, and one in the Asia, the Philippines. And the in a nutshell, the caricature was showing that uh, these nations don't deserve to rule themselves, and that they need that they're children, and they need us, America, white America, to the white government of America to supervise them. Yeah, and you know what's really interesting? They showed all the babies, each one representing a different nation. They had they looked like babies, and they had a T-shirt, little shirt, and it said what country they represented, And they showed them all. Oh, and Hawaii. How could I forget? Yeah, Hawaii. So the U.S. Acquired Hawaii. What was that? Was it 1950? I forget. Was it 59? I mean, it was a territory, Hawaii, and then and then they made it a state. Yeah, so it had to be the late 50s. This cartoon. Yeah, what was interesting, they showed um, surprisingly they showed um, Cuba, Puerto Rico, uh, as a all the dark skin people. Interesting. Yeah, they know the deal. Yeah, because these are black nations, black people mostly, and but they only show they like to only show the very fair skinned people from those islands, especially like Cuba. But yeah, they come all different colors. But I thought it was interesting that the caricatures were all dark-skinned black babies. They had them with straight hair. Yeah, all of them were depicted with straight hair, all ebony in color. And also, I thought was interesting was that uh, Hawaii, Cuba, and Puerto Rico, they had them wearing hoop earrings. Who is the hoop earrings? So it's to talk about the Africanness of those nations. That was what the at least the artists uh how the artists depicted them as depicting that they're people of black heritage. And the Philippines, they didn't show them with any jewelry. It was a really interesting drawing. You see the propaganda that they'd be doing in the 1950s to get their point across. Either I know I'm a little bit off the topic, but yeah, if the whole point is why I mentioned about that documentary um, featuring Puerto Rico. Yeah, Puerto Rico is a territory. Yeah, they talked about the flooding, the that storm that happened. Was that 2 3 years ago? Yeah, they were underserviced. Awful. Oh, okay. Yeah. So when they showed the old clipping, like the four babies, and then they showed uh, Puerto Rico, and my mouth almost dropped. Yes, yes. Oh, you're in the sun. Okay, I'll put you in the. Come here, come here. I'm trying to get her. Now she's. Come here, come here. I'll put you in the stroller. I'll put you in the stroller, mommy. I have to keep aware of the time. Yeah, I should be going soon. Okay, yeah. They showed an extreme, dilapidated area. It was all in black and white photo. The people looked happy though. They were young people, and I never saw that something like that. Um, that severity. I'm wondering whether it was really Puerto Rico. I never saw anything like that. Um, it was beyond imaginable. Um, and people have different standards of living, and it doesn't mean anything bad about a particular group. You know, some people might think if you don't have a Mercedes, you're beneath them, right? Yeah, the U.S. just have there are different standards of living, and I would imagine in the Caribbean or in Asia. Wow, these big, you see those swells? Wow, that was a big one. This big like a wave. I mean like yeah, a swell. Look at that. I wonder what's making that happen like that. These currents. Oh, it just started all of a sudden. Look at that. I haven't seen this happen before. Wow. Look at that there. These ripples. That must be these undertones or something. Undertones. Well, that would probably suck you in there. Yeah, we don't go in this water here. So what I was saying, different standards of living. But they some individuals may not have a lot of materialism, but they have one another and they have love. And what I'm sad about is that the U.S. mainland, in many of its cities, has abundance. We have in New York. If you walk the streets of New York City, where the restaurants are, you'll see a lot of food thrown out. We waste so much, but you have all this poverty. And you have a lot of people who are sad. And I shared with you guys that I used to work in the financial industry. I worked in many different industries. But one of them, I worked in the financial district. And I worked for the legal department. And I had, on occasion, had to work, assist the director when his secretary was out. I had to fill in for her. And you get to see how these people act. They make money, boy. And then they get their bonuses. Remember, bonuses. Yeah, I can walk until, yeah, I think I should start going now. Yeah. Yeah, I don't like to rush. So I should leave. Yeah, you have to meet someone in an hour, close to an hour. Oops. Let's move around. You go here. And Lavin, you go on the other side. Yeah. Okay. So what was happening? Yeah, so I worked with people who made a lot of money. And they probably have more than one home. The summer place, and the regular place. These were mean people. Come here, baby. They were mean. They weren't nice. Um, and I wonder what their problem is. What is their problem? Okay, okay, I'll put you in the stroller. Come. Come. I'll carry you. I'll carry you. She likes that too. Okay, so that's Lily. Lavin. Okay, you go. Okay. Okay. So, let's see.
Nice dog.
Thank you. I got 3. I got another one there.
Oh, you have to give me one of these dogs.
Yeah.
You have to give me one of them.
You have a good one. So what happened? So these were unhappy people. These were mean individuals, and I resigned. I mean, I made the most money at that time. It was a cushy job, great cafeteria. Oh, part of me feel I was foolish to leave it, but I wasn't. I got scared at a point because the politics, and they were doing a shift in the department, and I was afraid who was going to be my new boss. Yeah, my boss was ushered away to work in this other department. Everything's like hush hush, and I was afraid. And I said, hey, I don't know what they're going to do. Who's going to be my new boss? See, everything was real good and comfortable until the politics, and I got scared. That's what happened. And I was looking around for work, and the director's secretary, who I fill in for, knew that I was looking for another job. Because when you work, when you look for a job, you wear these nice suits, right? I mean, I wore appropriate stuff, but you dress extra special when you looking for work in the financial district. So she did something to antagonize me, and when that occurred, it occurred on a Friday, and that Monday, I put in my letter of resignation. Yeah, I don't like people playing games with me like that, which she did. Come here, Lavin. Come. What's wrong? Come. Good boy. Yeah, I didn't like that. So I left, and things really got bad. I thought it was gonna be a good move. It was not the best move for me. You have to, you live and learn. So yeah, so the point of mentioning that, so these people had money, and then they weren't happy. And yet our culture in America is you're somebody if you have wealth. It's very materialistic. Very. And in some cultures or regions in the US, it's even more so, like the Hamptons. I used to work with people in my very early days at work, people who who would hang out at the Hamptons for the summer. They'll take any money, the money that they have. They probably didn't pay rent at the folks' home. They're all, I think, pitching $1,000 something. You get a bunch of them sharing a beach house on the Hamptons. I forget which one was it, the East Hamptons, West Hampton, Southampton. I forget which Hampton. But they go to the Hamptons for the summer. Now, you know how long it takes to drive out there? It takes several hours because everybody else is doing the same thing. And these are really You know, when you really analyze what these people are about, they're really, they're people who don't want to associate with other people. Now, we all made the same amount of money. It was a union job, okay? It's all union. They did the same type of work that I did, you know, the department that I worked at. He was pre-law students, students working towards their law degree. You know, they have to get past the bar also, but they were still in law school. But they wanted to distinguish themselves from the other people, and they would go have their trips to the Hamptons for the weekend, which would take hours to get to there, and then to get back before work, you know. So they leave like on Friday when they finish work. Friday, to get there, you know, be there Saturday and Sunday, and they you know, a part of Sunday, and they come on, and they'll leave, you know, and race back in the big crowd, get home on Sunday evening. Yeah. I'm going to put you in the little stroller, Lily. Okay. Okay. So these are things that would happen. So I saw what type of people they were. I was very young and naive. I started working there. I was 17 years old, 17 and a half. No, 17 and 9 months of age. Yeah, I started working there in August of 1980. Yeah, 1980. I started college in September. Yes, I started working first. A friend of the family got me the job there. So they were teaching about status, and to be, it was important to be associated with the place. They dressed like everybody else there, the people those Hampton people. Yeah. Yeah, they wear pier slacks or jeans. So back then it was casual. And they didn't have money for, you know, luxuries. Because they lived at home. They had a little part-time, it was a part-time job. And they went to school. But they would hang out in certain areas. For them, they hung out at the Hamptons in the summers. And it was important for them that when they, I bumped into that person years later, maybe 15 years later. Yeah. And it was important. It was a weird experience. But either way, it was important for him that when it came down to getting a house, he wanted to get a house with his wife. He had a kid. And they were juggling whether to get the house that was near, like one of the guys of the Rolling Stones. Get the name of the person. They either want to get the house next to the guy from the Rolling Stones or this place in Long Island. So everything was about positioning yourself socially. It was awful. It was a learning lesson for me. I talked in detail about it before. some years ago, that experience with this fellow. But it shows you how people, they're not really much different than you. You basically live near it, near each other. You don't make much money. Initially you were making the same amount of money, but because of what I was, and because of what he was, it made a difference socially. Even though basically you're all about the same, you both, you're who you are. So I appreciate the lesson that I learned from that. It was very humbling. So again, with that movie, the documentary on Puerto Rico, that again, I'm not saying these things about Puerto Rico, documentary to embarrass anybody from Puerto Rico or any of the Caribbean. My background is from the Caribbean. I am born here in New York City, but all my grandparents were from the Caribbean. Long-time Caribbean people, and I used to live in the Caribbean also. But the point I'm trying to make with this is that money doesn't make the person. It doesn't make it doesn't really determine their true value. It really doesn't. Because someone doesn't go to the Hamptons. And maybe those people in that photograph, in that movie, they were real. I had to pick up my dog. So. Sorry. I've never saw that type of poverty like that. What looked like poverty, it was a lot. Everything was mashed up. Everything was made out of wooden planks, and it was all all destroyed. And they were by water. But they looked happy. And what is it all about? What is life all about? How people, I had a pastor. He passed away last year. Yeah, he passed away last year. But yeah, he said something about that he knew of someone that he couldn't enjoy eating a hamburger because he's worried about his money. And he was sick all the time. It's because of the illusion. Something like when you make so much, you get paranoid because, I would imagine if you're at such a high scale of money, see, there's different wars. My understanding is that when the more money you make, you're at a different social level, and just just because you have that money, people are gonna know. Some people, well, the place where you bank, for one, knows how much you have, where you live. Now, usually when people start to acquire more money, they start to live according to what they make. You know what I mean? Like, if you have money to afford a certain type of house, you're going to get it. Or let's say clothing. Certain type of clothes you can buy now. A car is a big thing. What type of car you drive? There's some people, if you drive a certain type of car, you're considered beneath them, or you consider the status person. Yeah. but it has no bearing on their character. And that's what I'm learning. That see, I'm like anybody else growing up, and I thought you were according to what you wear. Even the Bible talks about not showing favoritism to someone because of the clothes they wear, right? That you let someone who's wearing fancy clothes get a good seat up front, but someone who's wearing rags, you have them in the back. So you just judge that person, and it wasn't an accurate assessment on the person's character. They have a good point about that. Very good point. Okay, it's almost 10 to 11, 5 to 11. Yeah, I better start going. Okay, we got the line. Come on, baby. Yeah, so we made a false assessment on a person based on what they'll open up a new school, the learning experience. Just a place for children. So I guess they perceive that people are going to be going back to work, I guess. So what was I saying now? Yeah, I'm leaving at a good time. So when I was in Hawaii, I got to see, there was this picnic area, and then they had a creek right on the edge of the picnic area. And you see all these kids jumping in the water, playing, and it was so beautiful. Yeah, Hawaii is, I think, one of the most expensive states, in the country to live in. Yeah, it was very expensive. The economics was a very big contributor to my coming back to New York. But some things about it was positive for me. And what happened now? Yeah, to watch the people play. People of color, they know how to play. They were just, it was a pleasure to watch young children play and play in the water. And then when you come here in the U.S. mainland and watch the kids play, and I noticed there's a difference how people of color, let me be more specific. Caribbean people and Black America. When you see them playing, with themselves, a pleasure. They played out of their being. They weren't about what clothes they were wearing. But they were playing, and I was impressed with that. And you had photographers that race over and who they took pictures of, mostly but the Black people there. Yeah, when they played, boy, they played out of their heart. It was fabulous. Yeah, parents, be careful when your kids are in the park playing. These are minors, the little kids like 10 and under. I'm not talking about teenagers, I'm talking about little ones. And the photographers will come and take pictures of them. And I was a little concerned of that. Because what are they going to do what are they going to do with those photos? Because you have people who traffic children. You have that. And you have people who just like taking pictures of children playing, whatever. But either way, when you see them play, it's beautiful. They don't need equipment. They just have themselves. They don't need a ball. They don't need any props to play. They were just being themselves in the park. There was a sprinkler, a water sprinkler. It was during the summer, and they had a sprinkler to cool, that you could play in the water. Oh, it was beautiful to watch. Beautiful, beautiful to watch. Uh, but you look at other places, they don't play. Some of the other people that was there, they weren't nice. That's quiet. That's quiet. Yeah. Because see, they're getting into status. Status. Oh, my kid got to go to Harvard or Yale. Things like that. That mentality. And it's reflected on the kid. Selfish. It was really something to watch. And I said, well, look how this person played in comparison to these other kids. Yeah. It was something else. Yeah. Let your kids be kids. Discipline them, steer them where they should go. But, let them be human. We're not human anymore. We want to be everything else but what God made you to be. Yeah. Be yourself. Get to know who you are. I shared with you a couple of it was a couple of months ago. It was 2 months ago. I shared with you guys that session. I had that session when I was in the mirror doing a meditative session. And the orbs that came to visit, they followed me when I left the room, my bedroom. And then when I finished the mirror session and was putting my gear back, the orbs came out racing out. See, why I'm mentioning that story is that, what I was saying in the mirror. And I was given a word of affirmation to love yourself. And that whatever things that you did in life, the mistakes you made, learn from your mistakes and try to move on. Yeah. And, learn from your mistakes and you can teach your family. I said you could go, you could go back home, I said. Go back to your creator. Or you can visit family and teach them the things that you learned. That's what I did. And I had all those visitations. You've seen it. It's the one, it's the session that I did in January. I think it was January 17, 2020. That one. Yeah, it was amazing. That particular one. They flopped over. I can only speculate because, again, they're not speaking to me, they don't have a mouth. Shit. Sorry. Sometimes the leash goes around the wheel. I have to problem solve that. That's dangerous. Yeah. It's really something how this life goes. What's really important. It's nice to have nice things, but don't forget to be human. And like those little orbs that came and visit, I'm saying to them, hey, we all make mistakes, but learn to love yourself in the mirror. I told them, look at yourself in the mirror. Wouldn't it be something, those orbs, like I see them as a little round orb, but what if when they look at themselves, they see a person? What if they can see the body, what they look like? Because I believe these were people. I think these are souls, human souls of things that once existed as humans, and they transitioned. That's what I believe. That's what I believe what they are. So life is something, Life is something. Here, all the things that we thought were important. Certain types of looks, like, oh, if you get this guy, he has to look a certain way. Yeah, I used to think that way. It's a program. We're all given programs when we're growing up. What's supposed to be attractive, what, even like oh, they have to be tall, right? You told that one, oh, the person's so tall, right? As if it's a good thing. Or even about retirement. Like mine was, I wanted to live on an island that was surrounded by water and mountains. Well, in actuality, I am living on an island surrounded by water, land, but no hills. So it doesn't have mountains, mountain, hills. It doesn't have that, and it's not warm. But even that is a brainwash. You're saying that to that retirement or something like that, you're supposed to somewhere warm. But what if you like cold? Well, personally, I do like warm weather. I do like warm weather. I want comfortable. I don't want it too hot. Yeah, certain, and I do like the fall. Fall is my favorite season. It's my favorite season, the fall. Let me throw this out. Oops. Gotta put my mask on. Hi.
Hi.
Hello.
Oh, there's a lot.
Yeah.
Throw it out.
Yeah.
Is it a little family?
Yeah, my babes.
Oh. Males and females?
Female.
Oh,
You're the
that's
female.
so cute.
Thank you.
Hi, guys.
Yeah.
Babies and dogs love me.
Yeah. You too. Yeah. Well, these masks are hard to put on when you have a hat on. Yeah. So, let me take this off. Yeah. So, yeah, this is this horrible mask. Horrible. But, yeah, so I'm just about to finish this broadcast. Yeah, I have yesterday's broadcast. Yeah, I have yesterday's broadcast. And now this one. So I hope to upload both of them. And I hope you enjoy. Yeah, so I thank you again. Peace and love. And I say hello and love, peace and love to all people of the planet. Okay? Thank you again. Bye bye.